Hello, my name is Lana, and today I'm gonna share with you 6 tips that I feel like can really help you lock in and become a better version of yourself by the end of the year so that you can start the new year strong and already doing some of the things that usually people put off for the new year. So, a quick introduction. My name is Lana. I am 22 years old and my major is graphic design. Currently, I'm a student. So, with everything that I do in life, whether it's school, whether it's something artistic, my relationships with friends, family, boyfriend, I always strive to be the best version of myself and to try and do everything to the best of my abilities. And I think these 6 tips will really help you just see what are some things that are really important to you and that you really want to achieve. I have my laptop here and I have like my notes of the 6 tips that I'm gonna share with you. I came prepared. So let's get started. Let's start with the tip number 1, be realistic. This is something that I don't see a lot of people talk about on the internet. A lot of people do these types of videos where they share some tips, which it's great, they motivate you and stuff like that. But one of the most important thing that you need to realize is that everyone is living a different life and everyone has their own path and not everyone can do everything. For example, if you're looking at an influencer whose job it is to make videos, for example, a fitness content creator, and you see them go to the gym every single day, maybe one rest day, and then you have yourself who is, for example, a mom of 2 kids and also has a job 9 to 5. You can't look at that person and be like, oh, I want to have a life like them. Of course, you can strive to be fit, to go to the gym, to do all of that, but you need to really schedule differently than that person, than that fitness influencer. That mom is not gonna follow the exact same routine as a fitness influencer. And maybe to some of you that is just common sense, but some people are some people are very affected by that type of content where they feel like they're lacking. They feel like, oh, I can't do all of these things. Yes, you can. You can do whatever you want to do. You just need to be realistic and you just need to organize it the way that works for your lifestyle. Because like I said, everyone is living different lives. Everyone has different things that they do on a day-to-day basis. So, for example, for me, I feel like physical activity is very important. But personally, I don't really like it. I like moving my body in a sense of walking, dancing, but I don't really like doing exercises. I don't go to the gym. I don't personally like it, and that is completely okay. Also, I'm not the type of person that's gonna do it like 7 times a week. No way. I have some other priorities, some other things that I really enjoy, and I'm not gonna be in the gym 7 times a day, or never mind, I'm not gonna do exercises at home 7 times a day. I'm just not gonna do that. So I organized my workout schedule so that it fits my lifestyle. You just need to find a routine that really works for you. Of course, this is just an example. I just gave that example because these days everybody wants to, work out and stuff like that. So that's just an example, but it can really be used into anything. So please take one thing that you really want to do and you really want to implement in your routine and then see, okay, I can do this 3 times a week. Okay, I can do this 1 time a week. It's important to do it. Like with time, you will be better. You might have more time some days. Some days you might not have time at all. That's just life. So please be realistic with anything that you want to do. Okay, tip number 2 is something that everybody says, but it truly really helps, and that is writing down your goals and things you want to achieve. You should do that. If you don't like writing on paper, of course you can use your phone, your computer, whatever you want, but writing down your goals, a person you want to, like describing a person you want to become, it really helps you like not only visualize what that person is, what those goals are, it also makes it real. I don't know how to explain this, but every time I wrote something down and like kept like going back at it and looking at it and set myself some kind of reminders to remind me to do those stuff, it became real and it became my reality. For example, working out. I would like plan my workouts and, plan when I'm gonna do them. And when I did that, when I had like, okay, you're doing it Tuesday, Wednesday, it doesn't matter. And when I look at it, it just gets done. It's like my reality. But if I only have it in my head, if I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, not writing it, not like planning, nothing, it just never happened. Sometimes it would happen, but usually it doesn't because I never like set that goal. Let's say you're learning Spanish and you say, I want to know basic Spanish in 3 months. Like I have 3 months time to learn Spanish. If you don't set the time, the days that you're going to learn it, you probably won't do it because life throws at you some unexpected things and you just never get around to it. But if you set your priorities, even if, for example, you set it at 8 p.m., that you're gonna learn from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., but something came up, something happened, something changed, you can still manage to do it that day, but maybe earlier, or maybe do it tomorrow, but again, set the time. So basically, writing down your goals, writing down what you have to do, when you have to do, how you're gonna do it. It is very important because it gives you a path that you can follow and you will automatically feel like you need to follow it. Tip number 3 is carefully choosing your goals. And by this, I'm not talking about what your goals should be, but I'm talking about the amount of goals that you're setting for yourself. You should never set yourself up for failure. We have 2 months until the end of the year, and you can't tell yourself, for example, I'm going to learn to paint like Picasso in 2 months. Like, no, painting requires a lot of time, a lot of practice, a lot of patience, blah, blah, blah. But you get what I want to say. You should choose goals that are very realistic. This kind of goes back to the first tip that I told you guys. Of course, you can choose some goals that you want to finish in 2026. So you should have some goal. For example, you choose 2-3 goals that you want to achieve until the end of 2025, but then also choose 2 or 3 goals that you want to keep, doing and keep achieving in 2026. I'm gonna give like really bad examples, but you want to wake up at 6 a.m. every work day until the end of 2025. That's totally doable. Like, why not? I'm going to take 5-kilometer walks at least 3 times a week. And you also want to continue doing this like in 2026. So just make sure that the goals you pick are doable until the end of the year, and then you have some that you want to continue in the next year. I'm sorry if you can hear somebody is doing construction work right now. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so tip number 4 is actually more for habits. Of course, it relates to goals as well, but it's more related to building habits that will stay your whole life. And that is, nothing happens overnight. People really need to realize that whatever you really want and you want to change something about yourself, you have some bad habits that you don't like, that you want to change, you can't expect them to just change like that. I want to wake up at 5 a.m., but usually I wake up around 11:30 a.m. What do you mean? Like, do you think tomorrow you're just gonna magically wake up at 5 a.m.? No, you're not. What I want to say with this is you have to do everything gradually. So going back on that example, you're not just gonna set your alarm for the next day at 5 a.m. No, you're gonna set it at 10 a.m. And then when you get kind of used to that in like maybe 4, 5, 6 days, you're gonna set it to 9 a.m. And then you're gonna gradually reduce the time, right? So until you get to your 5 a.m. that you want to. So I think some people are very harsh on themselves in that way, and they feel like, oh, I cannot do this. I just can't wake up at 5 a.m. I just can't. Like, you can. It just takes time, and you need to have a correct approach. You can't go to bed, at like, I don't know, 1 a.m. and then expect to wake up at 5 a.m. There are a lot of things that you need to take into consideration whenever you are choosing some kind of habit. And in order to make it easy for yourself and really gradually get to that point, you really need to do it step by step. So another example, you want to go to the gym, but you've never stepped into the gym before. You can't expect yourself to show up there every single day and, do everything correctly, be a pro. No, like you're gonna probably watch a lot of videos, have a lot of questions, you will probably do very wrong things on some machines, but that is completely okay. With time, you will become better. And with some help from the videos, from anything, that doesn't really matter. You get what I want to say. Whatever you really want to do, whatever habit you really want, you just need to do it gradually. You can't expect it to just appear. You know how some people, for example, they want to lose some weight and then they go on a strict diet, they exercise, they do all of these things for like 2-3 months and they manage to, lose some weight, and that's great. But then, like, as soon as they stop, and like 1, 2, 3 months pass, they are completely back at their old lifestyle, their old bad habits. They continue binge eating. I think that this is the reason why it happens, because they tried to change themselves like rapidly, like so quickly, like just change everything, but only for 3 months. And they went extreme exercise, extreme diet, and then they end up burned out and they can't do it for the rest of their lives because it's just completely changed who they are, and not like gradually, slowly getting used to those habits, seeing what they really like and what they don't like. They weren't happy those 3 months. They weren't doing things that they really wanted to. So I just feel like when you take time and when you really take things step by step, slowly but surely, gradually improving in things, and that is my tip for building better habits. For example, for me, I do weights, but I don't personally really like it. But with time, gradually, it became easier. It just became a part of my routine. Something that I do because I need my muscles to move. I need to have some kind of strength, So that's just a form and the way that I chose that I'm doing for my body. Even though I'm not practically enjoying it too much, I'm not devastated because with time, gradually, it just became a normal thing for me. Okay, tip number 5. I think this is so underrated. I don't think a lot of people do this. Even though people do talk about it online, I feel like still a lot of people don't do it. And that is romanticizing everything. Literally everything. And what I mean by that is you want to go on a walk. Put on a cute gym set. Put on a bit of makeup. Do your hair, whatever. It doesn't matter that you're not really gonna be outside that much. You're maybe gonna take a walk for like 30 minutes for an hour. It doesn't matter. Make yourself feel good. Whatever you're doing, make sure that you're feeling good. Of course, some days, if you're sick or something, you're not gonna do that. That's just me being realistic. But trying, and on a day-to-day basis, trying to romanticize everything will really help you. For example, you don't really like working out like me. But, putting on a cute set, listening to good music, having a good breakfast before that, making it all cute and nice. It can just make it 100 times better, or for example, when you're getting ready to work out and you're like, oh, I feel like, I don't like doing this. But you think, oh, but after I'm done with this, first of all, I'm gonna feel great that I did a workout. Second of all, I can listen to my favorite podcast while I'm taking a shower, and then I can go and get myself coffee. That sounds great to me. You kind of convince yourself that because you have done your workout and you were, disciplined and you did it even though that you didn't really want to, now you are rewarded with listening to your favorite podcast, going to get coffee, blah blah blah. So yeah, those little things can really make a difference. Or for example, you have to study, and of course you don't really feel like studying. Nobody really does. But you bought this really cute candle recently, and you have your favorite ginger lemon tea in your cupboards, and you really want to drink that, and you also want to smell the amazing candle. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna make this atmosphere amazing. I'm going to make myself some tea. I'm gonna light up a candle, maybe even put some music on in the background if you're into that. And you just make it fun. You just try to do all of those little things that will, make studying more enjoyable for you. So now you're not just studying in your room, you're studying in your cupcake smelling amazing room with your ginger lemon tea that is bomb because you added also a little bit of honey. And yeah, you're studying because you are responsible. Plus, your room smells amazing and you have amazing music taste and you're enjoying it. So yeah, I feel like romanticizing really helps with everything that you want to do. And the last but not least, maybe even most important tip that I have, you need to rest. Like, some of y'all are actually insane. Like, when I see like what some people do, how much they do, like how many things they do. For example, oh, I don't really feel like learning Spanish. Like, no shit, you have been going to the grocery store, studying, going to the gym, also learning, I don't know, also going to art classes. Oh, and also you have a dog that you're always taking care of. Oh, right. And also this week you've been with your mom for 3 days because she needed some help, around something. I don't know. Like, how do you think that you are going to have the will to, do anything if you are all over the place, if you just have a bunch of things on your plate and you just need a bit of rest? Whatever responsibilities you have, whatever goals you have, habits, whatever, you need to make sure that, for example, in your week, you have at least a day, at least one day, where you can do whatever you want. Okay? It is completely normal to feel burnt out when you are constantly doing something, when you are constantly like everywhere and doing this, doing that, doing a bunch of things and having no time to rest, to like recharge, really like soak in everything that happened. Of course you're gonna feel like that. And also why it is important as well to rest, for example, for habits, it's because if you're building a new habit that you're not really used to, you will feel like you need a break from it. And if you continue doing it like constantly without breaks, it will come to a point, a breaking point, where you will stop doing it, like you're not gonna do it ever again. So, for example, I'm gonna give like what example am I supposed to give? For example, you're someone who doesn't really like walking, but it's good for you, and you want to do it every day. You can't do it every single day, okay? At least in the beginning, at least like when you're starting, you need to take a break. Like, okay, go walk from Monday to Saturday, but then on Sunday, no walking. Like, you're not gonna go take a walk. I mean, you should, but you get what I want to say. When you are building a new habits, it is very important to take some breaks because, like I said, you will get to that breaking point because you did it like every day all the time, and now you're like, oh my god, I can't do it anymore. And you can't do it anymore because you did it constantly, like, and you didn't like it. So of course there will come a time when you're not gonna be able to do it. So please take breaks so that your body, your mind, everything can just recharge and then you can continue doing. So for example, for me, I like from Monday to Friday, I really try to like watch what I eat, you know, work out, walk around, really like try to do all of the, you know, good things for myself. But when the weekend comes, girl, like what 3 meals a day? I eat like one meal, and that's like a pizza that I ordered. And then also, like, I ate like 3 bags of chips. And what? Who's gonna tell me what? Like, I needed that. I needed to rest a bit, you know? Of course, even though you should always try and build your healthy habits, you know, be productive, be disciplined, you should try and strive to do that. You also need to take breaks, and you also need to have like I said, at least one day that you will like, you know, chill out a bit. Of course, that doesn't mean going into extremes. For example, going back to that walking example, you are choosing not to walk on Sunday, for example, but that doesn't mean stay in bed all day, like don't do anything, just scroll on your phone, not even like not eating anything. You know what I want to say? Like, we are not going into extremes. Like, yes, you do need rest, but don't like completely flip your lifestyle for that one day. Do you understand? I hope that makes sense. I hope these tips helped at least someone. I don't know, this is my first time making this kind of video. I don't even know if I explained anything well. I don't even know if these tips are gonna help you. I mean, I personally follow these tips and I am very like content how it is affecting my life and like how it affected my life for a long time now. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if there is anything you need help with. Like, I don't know, I just like giving advice. You know, I think I have a lot of knowledge, and I think I am very well spoken. And if you have any video requests, anything that you would like me to do, let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye.